Hey, sports porchers, it's your hockey Jesus, and I'm back with analysis of the Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Chicago Blackhawks. Well, tonight the Pittsburgh Penguins get back on the ice after a little bit of a 3-day break here, and they have not missed a beat. Tonight they took care of business by beating the Chicago Blackhawks 6-2. Really, this game was never in doubt. The Pittsburgh Penguins, well, I guess I shouldn't say that because Chicago did score the first goal. But other than that, this game was all Pittsburgh. Let's break it down for you, huh? Sheloff was in goal tonight. He has never lost to the Chicago Blackhawks. He didn't lose tonight. So he remains undefeated against the Chicago Blackhawks, which is kind of amazing. The guy's a good goalie, but to never lose to a team, that's really something. Brazeau got the move up to the first line because Rusty's serving his 3-game suspension. A little bit more on that later. And of course, it's a gold jersey night, so that's always a lucky color for the Penguins this year. We got to see for the first time Ilya Solovyov. He was in on defense tonight because of St. Ivany. Looks like he's going to be out for about 8 weeks, and Graves still injured. So he gets the nod tonight. He looked fine tonight. He had a nice check on the boards against one of Chicago's big line guys, Frank Lazard. Other than that, he didn't. He was not noticeable, which is good. You want a defenseman to be solid and somebody you're not mentioning unless it's in the statistics and not in the penalty category. So he was fine tonight. The Kindle line was a little weird tonight because it was different from where it started. We'll get to that in a second. Pittsburgh Penguins, when they have 3 days off, are one of the better teams in the league. They're 8-4 and they have 18 points in those 12 games. That's pretty amazing. Chicago comes in on a 3-game losing streak. Make that 4. Sorry, Chicago. Their big line is Frank Lazard and Bedard. They actually did get on the board tonight. And that's really it. First period, really the first 5 minutes was super choppy. Back and forth, a lot of offsides, a little bit of icing. Just seemed like it couldn't get started. Pittsburgh Penguins had no shots in the first 10 minutes, which seems ridiculous. But yeah, they started off really slow, and Connor Murphy scored first. I think Tommy Novak got caught looking on that play. I went back and looked at it. Tommy probably should have picked up Murphy coming down the middle there, but they score first. But that seemed to wake them up. Really almost right after that, fourth line magic, back in action. That fourth line is absolutely incredible, and tonight was no exception. They just put in the hard work. They just go after the puck. Lizotte is just a puck hound. He'll go after the puck no matter where it is. Really love that kid. He can just play great hockey. And the hard work paid off with a goal by Connor Dewar, which is good because I thought Dewar had some good opportunities last couple of games and he didn't quite bury them. Good to see Dewar get back on the goal scoring streak. He actually has set now all-time career highs for him with 12 goals. Actually, he ended up with a second goal. So that's 13 goals in 21 points are his new career highs. What game are we in? Game 52? That's just incredible. That's incredible for Connor Dewar to be doing that. That's why I say that fourth line is just absolute magic. They got the game started, and it really didn't stop after that. After that, there were some penalties. Novak got a penalty. Gito got a penalty. Was kind of erased because Kaiser did do a nice dive job there. I mean, the stick was between his legs, but you just can't fall down like that. Kindle did pretty much the same thing. He tugged on a guy, and the guy just actually collapsed. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. I like to see guys, hustle, keep moving, and not just fall down. But it happens. It happens in hockey. Sometimes that's how you can pull a penalty. I've got no problem with it, I guess, because no harm was really done. So they had 2 penalty kills in the first period. The Pittsburgh Penguins killed them off both. So basically you end up in the first period 7-10 on shots. They outshot us in the first period, which is incredible. So you're looking at that first period, and you're like, you didn't feel bad about it, but it wasn't a great first period. It looked like they kind of had a rough time getting started. And then, first 5 minutes of the second period, there's a little bit of back and forth. Goalies both playing really well. And then Mantha moves to the Kindle line, and magic happened. I'm just telling you, when he moves to that line, it just was incredible. He got a pass from Ben Kindle. Just was a sweet pass. Made a 2-1. Mantha right through the 5-hole. Power play was pretty. Penalty kill was good for Chicago tonight. Probably their bright spot. And the penalty, they only had one power play goal. The Pittsburgh Penguins did. Looked good, but they didn't get it. Doesn't really matter because right after that, Wotherspoon smashes a guy to blue line. Gino steals the puck. And Chinnikov, oh my goodness, Igor Chinnikov scores again. That's right. Igor Chinnikov scored again. He got the goal, make it 3-1. And then once again, Kendall with the sweet dish to Mantha, 4-1. I should backtrack because on that 2-1, on that 2-1 goal, that was not Mantha that scored that goal. That was Kindle. I got those backwards. So Kindle scores the second goal to go 2-1 on a sweet dish from Mantha. Actually, that whole line, that was when Mantha moved up to that line. Mantha and McGroarty was playing on that line tonight. They all touched the puck, and Ben Kindle was the guy who finished it. That was the second goal. The fourth goal was just a sweet dish from Kindle to Mantha. So, sorry, got that backwards a little bit. And then third line goes to work again, and Shea gets a goal, 5-1. The Kindle and Chinnikov goals were only 31 seconds apart. It just absolutely exploded in the second period, and really, after it got to be 5-1, Pittsburgh Penguins were out shooting Chicago at that point, 31-15. Go back to 7-10. So 7-10, do the math, 24-5 in that period. Just an absolute drubbing from the Pittsburgh Penguins on Chicago. And Chicago looked like they had nothing. And, Chicago's not a great team. Let's be honest. Chicago is struggling right now. They've got some talent. They just haven't been able to put it all together. The goalie tonight was not very good. Not that he was the problem tonight. Just the Pittsburgh Penguins overpowered the Chicago Blackhawks. In the third period, the Penguins just kept coming. I love what they did in the third period. They didn't back off. They took good opportunities, but they always had two defensemen back. Every time they were kept coming. And honestly, Sheloff had some pretty nice saves in the third period too. I like to see a goalie who doesn't lose his focus in the third period, even though the game's done. The game is complete. Bedard did get a snipe. Actually, Dewar got the sixth goal. Should mention that one. I did already mention that he got the goal, but he got the sixth goal, and Bedard got a goal right after that. Just an absolute snipe coming down the middle. Just hit the brakes and ripped one right past Sheloff. Really nice goal. Connor Bedard's a great player. 21 goals on the season for him. Bright future for that kid, no doubt about it. I think Chicago will get it together. They just weren't able to get it together this season for whatever reason. Not a Chicago analyst, so you'll have to head over to the Chicago stations to see what's going on with Chicago. But yeah, Sheloff stayed dialed in no matter what, even though he did give up that goal. Looked great. And the Pittsburgh Penguins are, they're just flying right now. Things to note for tonight, I talked about the defenseman coming in tonight. Gosh, I got to get his name. Let's see if I can get this right. Ilya Solovyov. That's his name. Ilya Solovyov. Okay. Wears number 7. Looked fine. I think he was a good pickup. That was the guy they traded for. I think it was Koivunen. I think they traded Koivunen for him. Turns out they need the depth. And that's good because he was needed tonight, and he came in. And then the third line tonight, you had McGroarty, Kindle, and Mantha ended up being on that third line. Hey, Pittsburgh Penguins are rolling. Let's not worry about it. There is one bit of caution I do have to bring to my fans. Oh, and by the way, I'm your hockey Jesus. I'm here after every single Pittsburgh Penguins game. Me and my buddies, we do a show called The Sports Porch. It's Monday nights at 7 if you want to stop by and see the whole thing. I'm here for you after every single Pittsburgh Penguins game. That will include Saturday's afternoon matinee. I'll be at the game, so I'm going to try. I'm definitely going to take my phone, so I'm going to do a live microphone in the arena right after the game, right before I go to lunch, going with my wife, Susan. So really looking forward to seeing the Penguins live. But McGroarty looked good in his return. And the one thing that I think we should note is that the first line was pretty much invisible tonight, and that's okay because they didn't need them tonight. That's what happens when you play against bad teams. You want to have the first line say, you know what? Let's take the night off. It's okay if we take the night off because all the other lines are flying. Let them do business. When it comes to, a grinder game where we're playing a tough game and it's 2-1 and I need my first line out there flying, that's when they're gonna pull it off. Also, I have to mention, Chinnikov's super hot. He's playing with Gino still. He's not going to be losing that line 100%. No way he's going to be losing that teammate right there. But I'm kind of glad Chinnikov didn't score in the third period. He had 3 great opportunities, and he didn't score because I'm starting to think that guy could never miss. Good to see him actually miss, to know that, he is a little bit human. I know he seems superhuman right now, but him and Gino got some great chemistry going on. They got that Russian flowing out there on the ice. Love it. Absolutely love it. So the Pittsburgh Penguins win tonight 6-2. That makes them 27-25 on the season, 65 points. Here's the word of caution. The last time the Pittsburgh Penguins were 2 game over 500, that's right, I'm not using the loser points. I'm throwing the loser points in with the losses. I'm sorry if you don't like it, but I hate the third digit. I'm not saying the third digit. 65 points for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Last time they were 2 games over 500, that was against Tampa Bay on December 4th. They were 14-12, and guess what happened? They went on that big 8-game losing streak. So let's not do that this time. Let's just keep on the winning streak. Let's get a win against the New York Rangers Saturday afternoon. Pittsburgh Penguins play next. New York Rangers, 3:30 in the afternoon. One final note. Congratulations to Patty Kane, all-time USA-born scorer in the NHL. He passed Mike Modano tonight. Congratulations to you, Patty Kane. And, hey, I'll catch you in the next one. I'll see you then.